It's only a raven, George. I'm not superstitious, but I must say, I don't like ravens.
We've never seen a raven before, have we, Nellie? If you say so, George. Nellie! Nell, did you see? I think I've just seen a rabbit, but there was something on its back. Oh, George, do be quiet. Sorry, I just thought I saw something, that's all.
Here we are, children. Fairy Oak Farm.
Oh, it's great, Mr. Coombs.
My father and I used to come here when we were boys.
Hello?
I thought I heard the car.
Oh, Bridget, meet Nellie and George.
Bridget helps us out around the farm. I don't know what we'd do without her. Hello, Nellie. Hi, George.
Pleased to meet you, Bridget.
Here, Mr. Coombs, let me help you with that.
Don't worry, I'll take that.
Smells good.
Yes, it's full of special honey cakes my mother made. George, are you planning to stand there all day? Nellie? What is it now? There's a window, George.
This way, my dears. Oh, your room is all the way at the top of the house. I love this room, but sometimes my old legs aren't so sure. Whew. I hope you'll be happy here.
Whoa, it's brilliant!
Well, I leave you two to unpack. Let me know if there's anything you need.
Yes, Mrs. Coombs. Oh, why are you so grumpy? Because I don't want a holiday in the country while we move house. I want to go home. I don't care if I have to sleep on the floor because my bed's all packed up. And that's exactly what I'm going to write in my letter to Mum. But Nell, we just got here. Come on, let's go out and explore. You go, George. I'm writing to Mum. I'm not going to go by myself. It won't be as much fun. Do that later, please. Oh, all right. Let's go. Woohoo! Look at me! You're it! Can't catch me! Hey, George! Wait for me! One, two, three! Whoops! George, now look what you've done. We'll have to go back. No, we won't.
2 human children from Upperware. 1 foot wet, flaming hair. When they appear, the time is near.
There, now, how about a game of hide and seek? I hate this game. 1, 2, 3. Slower! I need more time! 4, 4.5, 5, 6, 7, 7.5, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not, here I come. George, are you there? George? George! George, where are you? Come out. I don't feel like playing anymore. George! This isn't funny. Come on out. I've had enough. I'm going back to the farm.
And where do you think you're going, my little flower?
Excuse me, have you by any chance seen a small boy?
I haven't seen him because he's not here.
I know, that's why I'm looking for him.
He's not here because he's gone.
Gone?
Away with the fairies, you might say. He's gone to help someone. Someone important. And so shall you, my little flower. At the beginning of time, an old witch told me you and the boy were the chosen ones.
You may think you can run, but you can't. We have work to do.
George! George! Have you been eating Mum's cakes without me?
Yes.
Who are you?
How am I supposed to get any privacy with nosy little girls like you around?
But what were you doing in my cupboard?
Your cupboard? I think not. I, Broom, am the resident hobgoblin here. Everything in this house is my responsibility, including this cupboard. Now, if you'll excuse me,
Where are you going?
I'm going to catch 40 winks. Do you know how difficult winks are to catch? I've 32 more to go. Good day.
Wait! Have you by any chance seen my brother, about so high, with spectacles?
Of course I've seen him.
Where's he hiding?
Is he hiding? When I saw him, he was with you.
Oh,
Ah!
sorry,
Oh, my
but I just don't know what to do. George seems to have disappeared.
Disappeared, eh? That can mean only one thing. Wee George is away with the fairies.
That's what that horrid old man said. I've never heard anything so silly in my life. Wait! Where's George? Really?
I've told you.
But he can't be away with the fairies. There are no such things as fairies.
And there are no such things as hobgoblins either.
Let's say it's true, and that George really is with the fairies. How do I get him back?
First of all, you'll have to get into Fairyland, which is sometimes easy, but most of the time impossible. Then you can bring him back, but only if he has not eaten or drunk anything. And I mean anything. Not one bite of a fairy cake or one sip of dew. If he has, then he'll have to stay.
For how long?
Forever.
We must go! Now! George hasn't had lunch yet. He'll be starving.
Stop! Wait! We aren't going anywhere. This has nothing to do with me.
But I need you to show me how to get into Fairyland. Please, Broom.
What'll you give me if I do?
The rest of the honey cakes?
What I won't do for food, especially cakes, and particularly honey cakes. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm a hobgoblin. Hobgoblins hate being outside. Hobgoblins hate being cold. All right. What have you done with the boy? And don't give me any of your airy-fairy answers.
What are you doing?
Trying to get some information. What else?
From whom?
From... Oh, that's right, she can't, can she? Never mind. There's the way in, big as day. I'm surprised you didn't see it before. Look at them all fluttering around like demented butterflies.
Look at who all? What butterflies?
Stop! See that ring of toadstools around the tree? That's a fairy ring. George must have accidentally stepped into it. Or he could have been lured in by one of you.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, sorry, I keep forgetting. Stand on one leg.
Why should I?
Do you want to find the boy or not? Now, hold out one hand and close one eye.
Look at that!
That, as you can now see, is the fairy oak, the way into Fairyland. Let me warn you that nothing is as it seems. Nothing. And remember, do not eat or drink anything.
I can't believe this is happening to me. So what are we going to play now?
What would it be a pleasure to play?
George!
There is no time for pleasure, Merivale. We must away to the palace. Now, expeditiously.
But the day is so beautiful, Chudley. Is there not time for one more game?
No.
There you are, George. I love strawberries. No! Thanks, Starcross. Where did it go?
Expertly done, Starcross, full marks. But as you know, there is no time for tricks and conjuration. The prince will be wondering where we are. To the palace?
I thought you might be hungry.
You told me not to eat or drink anything.
Pay no attention to what I said before. You look thirsty here.
Have a drink, my little flower.
No, stay away from me.
You won't go far, my pretty.
George! Wow, I'm flying! I wish Nellie could see me. Whoa, is this the fairy palace?
Do you like it?
It's amazing! I must get to George before it's too late. Please. I'm starving.
Yes, but you must be aware of the consequences.
George! George, no! Nellie, I'm so glad you found me. Want something to eat? Oh, sorry. These are my new friends. This is Chudley, Merivale.
Welcome.
Huckabee and Starcross. He never speaks. This is my sister, Nellie. They're all fairies. Can Nellie have a cake too?
Yes, but if you do...
No! You don't know what you're missing. George, please stop eating. My brother and I'd like to thank you very much for your kind hospitality, but I'm afraid we really must be getting back now. Now? Why?
Getting back?
You may both be wanting to go back, but...
Not me.
Shh, but only you are free to flee. The boy must stay. He has eaten of our food. I tried to warn him.
Yes, but surely you can bend the rules a little and let us both go?
Bend the rules? Do you think the rules of fairyland are made to be bent like a blade of grass in a sudden wind?
No, but run! Nellie, what are you doing? No, let us go!
There, Nellie. Calm yourself. You wouldn't be wanting to disturb the prince, would you?
The prince? Is he the ruler of Fairyland?
Most decidedly.
And if we make too much noise, he can hear us. Help! Help! Let us go! Help!
Shh! Be quiet.
That is quite enough. The prince.
A human child. I can hardly believe that you were the source of that disturbance.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, but you see, they're not allowing me to leave this place.
No, not so, my liege. The girl is free to leave, but her brother has eaten of our food.
I don't care what they say. I'm not leaving without George.
Then you will be here for an eternitude. There are rules.
But if anyone can bend the rules, Your Royal Highness...
Too much bending results in breaking.
But is there not perhaps a way around this particular rule?
Around?
Yes, it is right here, in the orb.
What is that?
Humans who partake of fairy fare must never dwell otherwhere.
Exactly.
I have not finished. Nevertheless, there be a remedy, in the form of Laves 3.
What does that mean?
It means I can let you leave Fairyland if you will agree to complete 3 tasks.
3 tasks? I think we can do that.
Good. Because if you cannot, the boy will immediately be taken to live with us here. Forever. Those are the rules. You will return to Fairy Oak Farm. Say nothing about this to anyone.
Particularly not to Broom.
Broom? Who's Broom?
Merryvale will come to tell you when it is time for your first task.
Oh, was that a dream? I don't think so. Come on, George, let's go. And remember, don't say a word to anyone, particularly not to Broom. Who is Broom? I'll introduce you.
Are you sure you're feeling all right, George? You didn't eat much supper.
I'm fine, Mrs. Coombs. I've had quite a lot to eat today, and you'll never guess what. I've had George! You didn't happen to see, the letter I was writing?
Oh, there was a letter that went out with the post this morning. I found it downstairs on the hall table, so assumed you wanted it to go.
But how did it get down? Oh.
Into bed now, Nellie. You've had a long day. Sweet dreams, you two. I'm so very glad you're here.
Good night, Mrs. Coombs. I hope the letter didn't say we wanted to go home. You know it did. Let's just hope we don't have to go before we finish those tasks.
Come to the Fairy Oak when the frost is off the window panes, and the prince will give you your first task. And remember, don't say anything to anyone. Ooh, except George, of course.
I smell a fairy. Oh, and who opened that window?
Did you say something about a fairy?
Yes. And what would you know about fairies, eh?
Time to get up, George! Say nothing.
What did you just say?
Nothing. Hurry up, George. Put on something warm. See you later, Broom. The Fairy Oak. Today.
You two are up to something. I know it.
Did Merryvale come? She said to come to the Fairy Oak when the frost is off the window panes. Oh, he knows something's up.
Hello, Nellie. Hello, George. You haven't met my friend Helen yet, have you?
Pleased to meet you.
I'm pleased to meet you as well. Bridget told me all about you. We've just been having a walk before breakfast. Where are you off to so early?
We're going to the Fairy Oak. George! I didn't say why.
And how do you know which oak is the Fairy Oak? It's obvious when you see it. Oh, please, Bridget. You can't tell me you honestly believe all that nonsense about that tree being the way into fairyland.
Fairyland.
Why not?
Because it's silly.
Very silly. Well, I've got to run, or waddle. See you later. Helen's my best friend. I can't wait until the baby comes.
Bridget, do you believe in fairies? George!
Well, I've heard the most beautiful music coming from somewhere near that tree. I've never heard music like it anywhere else. So, it must be fairies, don't you think?
I say it must be your imagination. We've got to go.
Oh, can I come?
Don't you have work to do?
No, don't worry, it's still early.
What are we going to do? I don't know, but I'll think of something.
They had better be coming soon, Merryvale. We do not have tarry time, you know.
We would, if it were not the prince's wedding day.
But Huckabee, it is that very day, and the sooner he marries Princess Bridget, the better. Our two kingdoms will then become one.
There's the Fairy Oak.
There they are.
So they are. Huckabee, go and tell the prince the children have arrived.
Right away, Chudley. I know. Let's play hide and seek. It's my favourite game. Huh? We'll hide while you count, okay?
Whatever you say. 1, 2...
There's Merivale and Starcross. Hello, Chudley.
10. Hey, you're not hiding.
We will. Just keep counting, keep counting. We're here, Your Majesty. So what's our first task?
Task?
Yes, Your Highness. You were planning to ask them to...
Yes, but I have changed my mind. Who is that lovely creature?
What creature? Oh, I'm sorry, Your Highness. She followed us here, but I promise you we didn't tell her a thing.
She is lovely beyond words. What is her name?
Bridget. She works on a farm.
Bridget? Did you say Bridget?
The prophecy! The Prince of Fairyland will wed a beauteous Bridget, astoundingly true bred.
But, sire, this is a human Bridget. The prophecy states true bred. It is obviously referring to a fairy Bridget.
Is that so obvious? Could astoundingly not mean surprisingly or unexpectedly?
Nellie! George! As much as I like standing behind trees counting, I really think I should get back.
All right, Bridget. See you later.
No, please, don't let her go.
Too late, my liege. She's gone. Thank goodness. Now, your first task is to collect...
Your first task will be to bring Bridget into Fairyland so I can ask her to marry me.
What about the princess? How can he be so sure?
Oh, he cannot mean it.
Oh, this is good. Very good.
Are you certain that is the task, sire? That is not what we agreed.
Quite certain, Chudley. She is the Bridget in the prophecy of old, and therefore destined to be my wife. Well, what are you waiting for?
These are the children who are to help me take my rightful place at the palace. I thought once the boy ate the food, the way would be clear. But what happened?
The prince let them go, remember?
Of course I remember.
Then why did you ask? How about we get rid of the prince?
And would you like to tell me how?
What's so funny? You'll never believe it.
What's so funny?
The prince has just fallen in love with a human.
What's her name? Could it possibly be? Would it by any chance be Bridget?
Yes, that's it. Bridget. How do you know? This is perfect.
The prophecy said the prince was to marry a beauteous Bridget, astoundingly true bred. Everyone assumed it was Princess Bridget. Even I never thought for an eon Bridget might be a human. That is astounding.
So what happens to the fairy Princess Bridget?
Well, she's not going to like this very much. And I will make it even more unpleasant and humiliating. Because of me, Princess Bridget will do her best to destroy the princess.
I still can't believe you two convinced me to collect chestnuts when I should be cleaning up the dairy.
But we knew you'd know where all the good ones are.
Well, here's a good one.
What about this tree over here?
George, that's the fairy oak. It may be special, but it won't grow chestnuts.
Then what's that?
What? What is that?
Come on. There's got to be an easier way.
What happened? Where are we?
You stepped into the fairy ring. We're in Fairyland.
But this can't be happening.
Here comes the prince.
Bridget, welcome.
How do you know my name?
I have always known it.
Ridiculous. Completely against the rules.
I know this next question will come as somewhat of a surprise, but will you marry me?
Marry you? But how? You're a fairy and...
And you're not. Exactly, my dear. Well put. As you're not a fairy, marrying our prince would mean giving up your old life and everything, and everyone, you know, and love. And you would, of course, have to grow wings.
Yes, thank you, Chudley, but could I please talk to Bridget?
Of course, Your Highness.
Alone?
Of course, Your Highness.
Yes, Bridget. Marrying me will mean giving up your human form to become a fairy princess.
But...
Let me show you my kingdom. Bridget, I know all this must seem hopelessly absurd, but I promise you, this is your destiny. Our destiny. Look at me and tell me you do not know me.
Yes, I do know you. And I feel as if I've known you all my life.
There will be many new things here for you to know and love. And I will love you more than life itself for the rest of eternity. So, will you become my beautiful and beloved bride?
Yes, I will.
Yes, yes, yes.
Here comes Princess Bridget. She is arriving for the wedding.
What will you tell her?
I will tell her the truth, Chudley. She is a long-time friend. I know she will understand.
Well, I guess we'll be going then.
Stay. I have another task for you.
You do? What?
You will make Bridget a bridal veil out of spider silk.
What?
Do not worry. I will help you.
Thank you, Huckabee. As for the rest of you, Chudley, Merryvale, Starcross, it is for you to prepare the royal wedding feast.
Get ready. He's coming. Don't worry. We're ready.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
What is this? Release me this instant!
I'm sorry, brother dear, but that's not possible. You see, I need to take my rightful place at the palace. The place I would have if our father hadn't thrown me out.
He threw you out because you tried to destroy us. Do you really think you are fit to rule Fairyland? Look at you. You are as hideous on the inside as you appear on the outside.
Not anymore. We are twins, after all. Goodbye, brother. I leave him to you.
You will not get away with this!
How's this one?
We shall see. Yes, George. It is perfect. Like the first ray of sun on a summer's dawn.
I'm going to look for another spider web.
Good idea, Nellie Peckle.
Oh, Princess Bridget.
Dear Princess, I'm afraid
Let me be the judge, my dear Alberic, of whether your news will distress me or not.
this will distress you, believe me. I will speak plainly. I have fallen in love with a human, and I am going to marry her. And not you.
What? How dare you?
Tippicott, in matters of the heart, nothing is too daring.
Milady, how can you let this...
If the truth of my heart be known, I will be much happier being your friend than your wife.
I am afraid, dear princess, you will be neither.
That doesn't sound like the prince.
You will get over me in time,
My little flower.
Wait a minute.
Sir, I fear you must be overly excited.
He
or
is
perhaps
not,
you...
milady. He is showing himself to be the selfish slug he must have always been.
Watch whom you're calling selfish, you vapid know-nothing!
Speak to me as you like, but do not insult my friends.
You are in my kingdom. I will insult whom I like.
Something is very wrong here.
This will not be your kingdom long if you carry on like this.
Ha! Are you proposing to take it away from me? If you were, then that would be war. But of course, you do not have the authority to declare war. Your kingdom obviously needs a man. I will do you all a royal favor
and take it.
Never.
And who's going to stop me?
I am.
Is the little lady declaring war?
So be it.
Yes! Princess Bridget has declared war! 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 War!
How could this happen? Where is my prince?
Your prince insulted Princess Bridget. Or so it seems. But our prince would never do such a thing.
Whoa! Hey, help! I didn't steal these things! This way, George! Whoa!
Where can I get a bee?
When did she learn how to steer a bee? Whoa!
Attack! Attack! Attack!
Come on, Bee. Let's find out what's really going on here.
Are you absolutely certain about this, sire?
Of course I am certain. Bring me the princess. Princess Bridget, sire? Who else would I need? You dolt. Seize her and bring her to me.
That'll get them going.
No, you have to go that way. Maybe I need to talk Beetle. George, are you all right? What? But then how?
Something very strange is going on.
Nelly, wait!
So, have you sent for me so you can apologize?
Apologize?
Apologize? And why should I apologize? I sent for you so that you could kneel before me.
I? Kneel before you? Never.
From now on, everyone will kneel before me. Take your hands off her!
I knew that was not our prince.
You knew which was not our prince.
Yes, who is who?
What is going on?
Guards! Seize the imposter! And if you were to do that, my friends, you would have to seize him. This is my kingdom. And it is now time for me to take my rightful place at the palace. And I tell you, you will not.
This can't be happening.
They tied up the real prince. When I fell off my bee, I found him and let him go.
Skillfully done, George.
It is finished.
I have vanquished the evil foe.
Hooray!
Oh, thank goodness. My prince has won.
The imposter has been defeated.
Lily! What are you doing?
She is saving Fairyland. No! You're supposed to help me.
Help you? But you're not the real prince.
No, but I am the true ruler of Fairyland. You may try, brother.
But you will not keep me from taking my rightful place at the palace. The time is
My dear, dear friend, are you hurt?
No, Alberic. I am fine.
Nothing that devil said was true. I value your friendship above all others.
I know that. But it was true about the human, was it not?
Yes, that is true.
I am so happy that you have found the right Bridget. I say, let the wedding begin!
Sire, we do have one little problem.
Remember the lasso?
Do I remember it? It and you saved my life.
Yes, that lovely lasso was made out of the spider silk we had collected to make the veil for Bridget.
And that means you did not complete your second task.
But I think we might count saving me from my brother as task number 2.
As you wish, sire. But certainly there can be no wedding without the bridal veil.
And I can't really get married in my overalls. You would look beautiful no matter what you wore. Never fear, sister. I have both dress and veil. Tippicot?
Come with me, my dear.
Except for the mushy part, it wasn't bad. I think we better go now, George. Mr. and Mrs. Coombs will be wondering where we've been. And they wouldn't believe us, even if we told them.
Nellie? George? You weren't going to leave without saying goodbye, were you?
Well, we didn't want to disturb you.
Oh. Thank you, Nellie. I'm so happy. But I'll miss you too. And everyone else.
But what should we tell Mr. and Mrs. Coombs?
Have no worries. It has all been taken care of. Come, we will see you safely home.
Oh, bye, I'll miss you, bye.
Very well.
Bye. Bye. 2 tasks down, 1 to go. That's right.
And then we'll be finished.
Ah, they'll be finished all right, but not in the way that they think.
Do fairies get cold, Merivale?
Not really, but it does our wings no good to stay out in the wind too long. We had best be getting back.
But did not Chudley want you to make certain the message was received?
I thought I heard someone out here. Come in, come in. I'm afraid I have some rather sad news. Bridget left us a letter saying she's had to leave us. I just got news of a wedding in my family, so she had to catch the train to go back home.
I have wonderful news. Helen has had her baby. A boy. Mother and baby both doing well. Did Bridget leave a forwarding address?
No, but she knew the baby was almost due. I'm sure she'll be in touch with Helen. But I don't have time to stand around here chatting. I've got chores to do.
Don't be long. It's almost time for tea. Why don't you go upstairs and wash your hands so you can help me lay the table?
Yes, Mrs. Coombs. We must get word to Bridget about Helen.
We will gladly impart this information.
Oh, I thought you'd gone. We forgot Starcross. But when we tell Bridget about the baby, she'll want to see him. What's wrong with that? Can't we sneak her in? She's small enough, I suppose.
So what are you wanting us to tell Bridget?
Tell her we'll be at the Fairy Oak after tea.
Right. We almost did our forgetting again. Where is Starcross?
Huh? Found him!
Starcross! We are homeward going.
I can't believe we're doing this. Hey, it's snowing! George, that isn't a good thing.
Oh, it's so good to see you. And isn't it wonderful news about Helen? Oof. I haven't quite got the hang of these wings yet.
Let me give you a hand.
Thank you.
Can people see you? Or are you invisible like the other fairies?
That's a good question.
I don't think it's worth taking any chances. The last thing we want is for someone to see you.
Too late, my sweet. We've already seen what we need to see. And now, I see my way to the palace. I'm here, to the cottage.
Now remember, stay out of sight.
Nellie, George. Oh, how lovely to see you. Mrs. Coombs said you might be coming. I just wish Bridget could be here.
Yes, well, we'd love to see the baby, if that's all right.
Of course it's all right.
Though you'll have to be very quiet, as I've just got him off to sleep.
Oh, isn't he sweet? He's so little.
Would you mind if I go and put my feet up? I haven't had much sleep recently.
No, go ahead. We'll see ourselves out in a few minutes. You can come out now.
Oh, he's beautiful. Hello, little one. Your mother would be very surprised to know that you have a real live fairy godmother. Oh, I wish there was some way I could tell her.
Let her go!
Come any nearer, and we'll be having Princess for tea.
Come to me, my precious.
Helen, take the baby and run! You're not Helen!
Very good, my pretty.
And he's not a baby either.
No! You can't do
I
that!
can do whatever I like.
But not this. Please!
Especially this. We love babies, don't we?
Adore them.
But don't worry. We will give the baby back unharmed if you cooperate.
What do you want us to do?
What you have been sent to do. 2 human children from otherwhere. 1 webbed foot
How did you know?
and flaming hair. When they appear, the time is near.
The time for what?
For me to gain my rightful place at the palace. You will steal the royal orb.
We cannot.
We will not.
You can and you will. Unless you want us to keep your friend's sweet little baby.
No!
Then get the orb and bring it to me!
What are we going to do?
Get the orb. What else?
What is the royal orb?
Do you know that beautiful glowing globe which the prince sometimes carries with him?
Oh yes, it's that thing with all the fairy balls in it.
Yes, that's it. Come on! There's not a moment to lose. Sorry, my love.
Are you sure this is where we're supposed to take the orb?
This is exactly where you're supposed to deliver the orb. How nice to see you all again.
That goes double for me.
I now know that old witch was right. How helpful you've been. I have the orb!
Where's the baby?
All fed and changed. You're horrible, you know that. Horrible and disgusting. Why did you want the royal orb anyway? It won't make you a prince.
We'll see about that.
We must take the baby back. Hurry!
Back so soon?
And you are free to go.
Does my lord the shapeshifter have the royal orb?
Yes.
You've done it now, and you don't even know what.
What did he mean when he said I didn't know what I'd done?
Well, maybe he's thinking of how angry the prince will be when he finds out.
Oh, my kind prince will understand when I tell him why. I couldn't let that horrible shapeshifter keep Helen's baby, could I? Baby's much more important than an orb. Oh, I'm quite tired myself.
I'm coming back to Fairyland with you.
Why? There's no need.
First of all, you're so tired you can barely fly. And second, if the prince is angry, I can back you up. George can go to bed.
I'm fine now, Nellie. Thank you for seeing me home. But you may as well go. I'm sure the prince is sleeping.
No, he's not. Look!
My love, are you all right?
Oh, no!
Where is the orb?
The orb.
Unlike you, we are hundreds of years old. The magic of the orb gives us our youth and beauty.
If it is not in our possession, we will all experience.
Nellie, what are we going to do?
We need help.
What? What do you want? Don't you know how much hobgoblins hate to be woken up? What's that fairy doing there?
Fairy? What fairy? Shh! It's not a fairy. It's Bridget.
Yes, but Bridget is now a fairy of sorts. So you married the prince after all. I knew it. I knew it. You're up to something. What is it? Boy!
We're in big trouble. The shapeshifter has the royal orb. We have to get it back or the fairies will die. The fairies will die?
I didn't know it, but the orb is what gives them their beauty and immortality.
Even I knew that. How did you ever get mixed up with that shapeshifter? Don't you know he's the prince's evil brother? He was banished centuries ago because he tried to do away with the prince.
And now he's trying again. And we're not going to let him get away with it. How can we make a fake orb to put in place of the real one?
Normally, I wouldn't get involved. But if the shapeshifter keeps that orb, we're all in trouble. Let me see what I've got. This looks orbish, don't you think?
Yes, it's perfect. Now, what do you have which we could use as the bottom part? Hey, this is my brooch. How did it get in there?
Oh, I found it on the floor. How was I to know it was yours?
I never liked it much anyway. How's that?
Well, it looks just like the orb, if you squint.
All it needs is a little hobgoblin magic. This is not the kind of thing I usually do, but under the circumstances...
Oh, Broom, that's wonderful.
Come on, Bridget, let's go. I'm going too.
Be careful, and good luck. You'll need it.
We'll have to get to the orb somehow, without them seeing us. And how, I ask, are we going to do that? Quick, climb on my shoulders. Keep going. We're almost there.
Hello there. I haven't seen you before. Would you care to dance? I'll take that as a yes.
I only hope it's not too late. Oh no!
You have the orb.
Yes, my darling, we have the orb.
Bridget, you were not to know.
And the shapeshifter knew that you did not know.
He came uncomfortably close to winning this time.
We've got to stop this shapeshifter.
He is dangerous to us all.
Is there nothing we can do to get rid of him?
Perhaps. And as he thinks us all dead, now would be the perfect time to surprise him. Chudley.
Yes, let us devise a plan.
Behold the true Prince of Fairyland.
Oh, you look pretty good, my lord.
Pretty good, I'm magnificent. Now, do we think all the fairies are dead?
Oh, definitely.
Most decidedly.
Then let us march triumphantly to claim my rightful place at the palace. Eternal exile. It's all mine. Wait a minute. Whoa. Behold your king. Master! From now on, Fume, you will refer to me as Your Majesty.
Right. Your Majesty, I'm just saying...
Not now, Fume. I will hear whatever it is you have to say when I take my place on the royal throne.
Your Majesty!
To the palace! Oh, it's the humans, my little helpers, going so soon.
The sooner we're away from you, the better.
I'd like to thank you for all your hard work in returning Fairyland to its rightful ruler. Before you go, you may bow.
Bow? To you? No, thank you.
No, I have no time for the likes of you. Your job is done. I must get to the palace.
You're going to the palace, all right, but not in the way you think.
How did this happen? I have the royal orb.
Correction, you have an old pearl on a brooch pin.
I have the royal orb.
Destroy!
The time has come. Turn and face your true foe, the orb! Your power is now locked safely in the orb. You are destroyed!
You will never destroy me.
We told you you'd be coming to the palace, but we forgot to mention that you'd be coming to the dungeon.
Your rightful place, just as the prophecy told.
Would this be the dungeon which no one's ever escaped from?
Of course it is, you fool. But we shall escape.
George, remember what happened the last time you did that? Oh yes, you're right.
Now, by my calculating, you still have one more task to complete.
May I suggest that helping to put my evil brother in a dungeon counts as more than one task?
Very good, Your Majesty.
Does that mean George is free from the fairy claim on his life?
It does.
Thank you. So I guess we'd better go now. If you say so.
Wait.
That is a wonderful idea, my love.
What is, Your Majesty?
I decree that not only is George free from our claim on his life, but because of their brave deeds, both Nellie and George are free to eat as much of our food as they like without having to remain in Fairyland forever.
Not that remaining in Fairyland forever is such a bad thing.
Does that mean I can eat this? Yes, George. You know, Nellie, that's the first time I've heard you laugh since we left home. Really? Have a cake. This is delicious. I think we better go now, George. We don't want the Coombs to worry. Goodbye. We'll come back soon. I promise. Goodbye. Bye.
Very well.
Bye. Bye. Oh no, the sun's coming up. We'll have to run.
What happened?
Don't worry, everything's fine.
Ah, no. Don't you dare throw that young... Why, you...
It wasn't me. It was me.
Nellie? George? Is that you?
Yes, it's us. Good morning, Mrs. Coombs.
Oh, my goodness. And here was I thinking you were still asleep.
It was so beautiful, we just had to go outside.
Listen, children. I've just received a telegram.
Telegram? From whom?
From your mother. And I don't mind telling you that it's very upsetting. Very upsetting indeed.
What does she say?
She says that she's very sorry it hasn't worked out and when would be a good time to send you home. You've only just arrived. Do you really want to leave so soon?
Of course not. We don't. I love it here.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So am I.
Perhaps you could write back to your mother.
I already have.
Oh, good. Well, I'll go and collect some eggs for breakfast, shall I?